Hello, hello, and welcome back to Divine Journey 2. As you can see, from last time, we've gotten some new threads. I spent a little bit of time just kind of going through some chills and bits because I just sort of felt bored, really. And I really like how this turned out. I'm definitely open to suggestions, but I feel this is pretty good. I feel they did pretty good with this. So what are we doing today? Well, first off, the base is green now. That's something I've been actually used to this for a couple days now, but it was gray last time. It's green now. At least this section is. I've got another subsection here that I was working on between stuff. This is probably where I'm going to set all the Applied Energistics stuff. We've got a few basic little panels, stands, I guess. I guess like stands for auto crafting stuff. I'll probably put some molecular assemblers and interfaces over here for that kind of thing later. And I'm thinking this is the controller spot because this is the center of the room upstairs. And I feel like, well, I mean, just centering it here, even if it's lower, is good. The viaduct, I made it a little bit better. It has a pattern, albeit you can kind of barely see it when you're flying past it so fast. It's a bit more noticeable going from crawl space to main hub, as I've called these two. But downstairs has not been finished up yet, but we'll worry about that, eventually. Beyond that, since then, we did a couple things. I upgraded to the Ultimate Energy Cube for both of my batteries so that I don't have to go to the refill the battery for the excavator as often, which required making atomic alloys, which we'll take that obsidian for. As you can hear, there's a lot of machines running, and that looks a little bad. The machine room has had quite an overhaul to it. We've upgraded these manual machines to a little less than manual. We have an enriching factory, which can output redstone because I dump redstone in here. It has a much better rate than the grinder or a crusher does. Something that basically I can put in up to 4 types of ores in there. It should just run through this by itself, and it'll spit out here to this drawer, which has a double stack limit for it'll be doubled, So I can really just fill this thing to capacity. Enrichment chamber and metallurgic fuser for making these circuits. I didn't feel the need to buffer any drawers for this because I feel like what's probably going to be up to 3 stacks of redstone effectively makes 24 stacks of circuits. I don't feel like I need a bigger buffer than that. I'd be very surprised if I am still making circuits even somewhat manually, yes, somewhat manually by the time in which that would run out. General, just kind of smelting setup, hopper into a smelting factory, into a chest. Nothing special here. I don't believe I did this on camera. This is the alloy line. Pretty simple. Iron goes in, redstone goes in, diamonds go in, obsidian goes in. Right? No, obsidian would go in here. And then this should do itself. If I'm not mistaken. No, that's right. Okay. It's been a few days. I have to remember how this works. Iron goes in from here. Redstone comes into here, makes the enriched alloys. Diamonds go into here, which outputs to both of these. I believe it should, at least. Yeah, this one should. One of these fills up, which I'm not huge on. I wish it was more round robin. Maybe I can. No, I definitely could fix that, I believe, but I would need one of those. Not these logistical sorters. These things are incredible. I'll get more on that later. But yeah, standard alloy line. Buffers an internal stack of this. So it should be 3 stacks reinforced. I believe 3 stacks of enriched alloy technically, and then 1 stack of atomic. I shouldn't need more than 1 stack of atomic, nor should I really need more than that in terms of compressed obsidian. We did change up the Osgoglass line a fair bit. Well, Osgoglass, quote unquote. We made it a little bit cleaner, I feel. Nothing super special, just kind of some general cable management back here. These all go straight to the right, I believe. Again, I need to remember how this works. That's right, so diamonds go to the right, enriches into compressed diamonds, go up into this. This goes to the right, into there. And then this... How does this get to here? Output on the right? Don't think I set that up. Well, on the bright side, that's an easy fix. we'll worry about that in a little bit, actually. I'm actually going to leave that as a whole. And then this was a big kind of headache I just did while doing other things. This is all these processors, effectively. Just input items and it spits out processors into this chest down here. This took quite a while, and it is quite the mess back here. It's like... I'm not sure if this is categorizable as spaghetti wire or not, but I feel I did the best with the limitations that I could. So we're using this logistical sorter thing down here, which I've never used before, is absolutely incredible. This is one of my new favorite things. This really changes the game a lot until we get conduits. Because this thing is basically just sort of bad conduits. If you've never used these before, which I'd be surprised if most people have, truthfully, you can set item filters to specific colors, and then it will only output those things to those colors. So for example, this black pipe here is only filtered for silicon. So only silicon will go in here, and if there's no space for silicon, then it just won't shoot anything there. The same is true for up here through this pipe. This is sort of like, if you're familiar with GTMH, the shuttered pipes, I believe they're called. This is effectively like a shuttered pipe is the way I was trying to think about this. So only redstone can go into any inventory past this line, which are the 3 inscribers up here for really just anything general, because I couldn't dedicate each one to its own inscriber, which is fine, I think. It doesn't really need to be like that. Next we have yellow, dark blue, and I think this is dark aqua for gold, diamonds, and pure certus respectively. I did not filter pure certus yet. I have not done that yet. I didn't want to do too many AE2 stuff off camera. Yeah, it's quite the jumble of wires, truthfully. This is not my favorite thing to look at, but I really had no other choice. I would have had to expand the wall a lot or do some really funky shenanigans if I wanted to get this to work, but this is fine. It's mostly fine. There's a couple exposed wires, and the mechanism cables don't take nicely to any sort of facades, but we do what we can. We do what we can. You'll also notice the coke ovens are gone. That's true. They just are gone. I have them sitting in a chest right now. I have a lot of coal coke I'm sitting on, so I should be good on steel for a while. I'm hoping that if I'm really lucky, I might be able to coast to it until I get to, I believe it's, yeah, chapter 10 is when I start getting basically single block blast furnaces and stuff like that through thermal. But until then, we just kind of don't have them around. That leads us to today. And today is not about single block blast furnaces or the like. Today is about applied energistics. We are applying our energistics. So first off, we want to grab this quest for this printed silicon. So print buzz buzz. We can grab some nice rewards at some point. We might do that later. Some logic and programming processors, of which we have no short quantity of, which is amazing to see. Absolutely wonderful to see that we have so many of these. And we're already led to our good options of our cores, our P2Ps, the controller, my dearly, dearly beloved, the ME drive, my equally dearly, dearly beloved. Oh, I'm so excited. I've been waiting so long for this. Although, one thing I am noticing, I haven't actually thought about up until this point. We need to transfer power from there to there, wouldn't we? Well, actually, I suppose from there down to the controllers, and then a lot of Fluix cables. Not something I had considered. Ooh. Alright, well, first things first, we are running quite low on these charged Certus quartz And while we did get some ore from it, from an excavator I had set up, once again between episodes. Last time, I believe I had it going on, I think, the diamonds, coal, and emeralds. I moved it to Atum to grab a bunch of redstone, full drawer in a little bit, pretty good. I then sent it to a iron vein and an osmium vein. No, magnetite for the iron and the gold, an osmium vein. And now it's currently sitting up here on our second fully depleted battery of that, which got a little bit full. I think I meant to upgrade this, but I forgot. That's fine, though. It did not overflow, which is good. So we're going to be taking quite a lot of these, actually, and running those through the ringer to get our wonderful quartz. Oh, actually, I want the charged. I want both. We should set up the charger, which I actually was about to do, but we have a lot of this charged quartz now. We probably don't need to, right? Like, we can... for 4? Oh. I was not under the impression that was 4 per. We may be skipping the queue with that osmium quite a bit then. Wow, alright. That will very promptly solve our Fluix issue, almost certainly. And with Fluix not really an issue, I think nothing really is an issue at that point. So, I'll see you back in a little bit. Or this logistical sorter thing down here, which I've never used before, is absolutely incredible. This is one of my new favorite things. This really changes the game a lot until we get conduits. Because this thing is basically just sort of bad conduits. If you've never used these before, you can set item filters to specific colors, and then it will only output those things to those colors. So for example, this black pipe here. Alright, so as we just saw, we just got this pure Certus Quartz Crystal, which means we can get the next set of processors. So we're going to add a quick filter here for item stack to dark aqua. And then this should, if I just throw these in here, immediately spit them up here. Start sending them out, hopefully. Yes, I see one coming down the pipeline right now. Perfect, perfect. All according to plan. Wonderful, wonderful. Alright, that is our second calculation processor, second of many. After a lot of running around, I have noticed that I've gotten very distracted very easily. The big thing that I need to do first, however, is an ME controller. More specifically, I need 16 of these to begin with, is what I would like to shoot for. I will probably change that number because I'm almost certain I'm going to end up needing to figure out how a subnet works. More specifically, how you cheese P2P channels via a subnet. I've never really run into that type of issue before, and I would rather not just make a big controller, because I feel like making big controller would still end up causing a lot of TPS lag in the world, or just normal lag, and I kind of don't have the machine to be able to deal with that at the moment. So maybe 25, which honestly doesn't seem too bad given these circumstances. The energized Certus Quartz, we have such a large backlog of biodiesel, even though it's not fully automated or anything like that. Skystone blocks is just smelted skystone silver. Yeah, who cares? It's no big deal. Fluix we can purify to get better, which is good. But otherwise, we have that. Engineering processors, we have this on lock. We are so fine with this. So I'm thinking I'll just make like half a stack of these, honestly, and then I'll catch you back in a moment. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. Crafting half a stack of these feels amazing. Oh, we have some light reading to do. Just gonna scroll through that, so if you want to read it, you can pause at your convenience. Now I'm going to go read this. Alright, I think I have this mostly understood now. So firstly, we're going to need to plug in this energy acceptor. I did run a line down here, all the way down here. It's a little bit ugly coming from the main power area, but this is fine for right now. So this should be receiving power, and this lights up. Very good. That's what we want to see. So next what we need to do is we want to connect these... Oops. I did not know you can put dents there. So we want to connect these cables here. This will enable this with one channel, assuming the device is online. Next, we want to put in some dense cables, I believe I want to do here, because there's going to be a lot of channels on this rig here. This is probably still going to expand over time. So we're going to run that through some dense cable, and we're going to run that through a quartz fiber. I think. I am not sold on this. Also, apparently I need... Okay, maybe we just ditch the dense cable here. The idea, though, is now we should have a P2P channel. This whole thing should be powered, I think. It should be being powered. It says the device is online. I might need to power the controller itself, actually. Noticing... As time progresses, I am less and less prepared than I thought I was. Okay, yes, blinky lights have appeared. So I need power going from here into this, I think is right. So this should only be reading what's coming out of this P2P and this energy connection here, and absolutely nothing else. I could put anything and everything I want on this big network here, and nothing should get read besides these P2P channels. Now what I want from here is what I'll be able to do is I should be able to take any dense cable anywhere, and if I want to, I can have an... That's not the right side. I should be able to have a output like this. So what should happen is if I need 32 channels somewhere, I should be able to be taking it from this, running it through this little subsystem right here. This is effectively the P2P network. I might... Definitely going to need some colored cable. This should be the P2P network. Or this should be the main brain of the operation. This will run our P2P channels into this controller, which should be able to run any P2P anywhere we want. And the only thing we'll be limited by is the number of P2P connections. So provided this number of P2P connections is less than 32 times 5 minus 1 because of this energy acceptor. As long as it's less than 150 P2P connections, which is 400 something channels, we should be fine. I will be very concerned if we crest 400 channels, because I'll probably have to rebuild this and it will make my head spin again. But that's, you know, that's part of the fun, isn't it? Is what on earth is happening here? So now what I should be able to do is I should be able to take this and then run a line probably parallel up this side of the viaduct. And I should be able to link that up to the main room that I had built out. So we'll get to that and hopefully all goes well. Okay, quick thing. We did a little rearrangement here because ultimately I think I want to run the mainline cable, or at least as main line of a cable as I can get, up and down this viaduct here. So I'd like the controller to be as close to this as possible rather than being in the dead center. I may change this to the dead center if I end up just kind of going straight up, but I don't think I will. I'm also hoping I'm setting this up correctly, because I noticed it was kind of a long turn-on delay, but I'm not sure if that's just because there's like 30 controllers here. I'm really hoping I'm doing this right. So I've made a little wire tunnel beneath at least a small portion of the base here. And so if I do this right, I should smack this down. That should load. That should be the correct frequency, that little melon looking color. Very pretty, actually. This is the output side. So this should output 32 full channels from that section of the controller we have connected to the P2P downstairs. This one right here. We should be getting 32 channels straight from this and not connecting to this at all. The way that we really want to test that, however, is with some drives. I would very, very much like to get some drives. Overall, I'm thinking we're shooting for the 16K storage components because Lumium seems very doable. Conductive iron's very doable. The Certus is not too bad. We've got a lot of this. We've got a lot of just about everything here. The quote hardest unquote part is probably the Lumium and conductive iron, which we should be able to do just fine in the arc furnace. So hopefully we can make, what is this going to be? Sure enough, 16. 160 of these. A little over 2 stacks of these logic processors. And then another, shoot, what's that going to be? A lot of the quartz ones. We'll come back, we'll see what we're looking like. I may have been a touch misinformed on the conductive iron cost. Storage! Alright, so the next thing we're looking at here is going to be the ME terminal. We've got the formation annihilation cores, which don't seem like too much of a hassle each. Just a little bit of quartz and some circuits we've already got. This illuminated panel, which also seems pretty easy. So here's hoping that that's the end of the rabbit hole. So our formation cores and our annihilation cores. Now our quest. Our quest. Gives us some nice processors, which will be good. And then just to put it into the terminal. Make our illuminated panel. Our ME terminal. Oh, where are my items at? Oh, I know very well where my items are at. Alright, so now we should be able to plug these both in. Fill this up all the way. Plug that in. Device should be online. If we come down here, there should be 3 channels being used here. Very good. And if we come down here, there should be... Yes, only 1 channel being used here, but this should have 3 channels going into it. I can't see that unless I were to pick it up and move it, but I don't want to do that because I already know it's working, so I don't need to do that. Now, the moment I've been waiting for. Ooh, this feels so good. This feels so good. I'm gonna have a bit of fun for the next couple minutes, excuse me. And just like that, everything is stored in our wonderful magic box. Oh, how I adore the magic box. Now, albeit we don't have a crafting terminal or auto crafting or a lot of other good stuff, but we do have the magic box that holds everything. And that feels great in itself. In addition, we got the P2P setup, so that should make everything else a lot easier, which will also be wonderful. And I get to start just culling away this garbage room, and I don't have to look at it anymore. And then I just have to get rid of these bookshelves, and I'm just actually going to do that right now. Look at that. Much nicer. And I'll just stuff these in here is fine for right now. These are both temporary. These will go soon. In fact, I think I can get rid of most of this right now as well. Let's put that book in there, and then everything else can just dump in the box. That I spy over the horizon. I think that's an oasis. Yes, yes. So this is not... The water's not what we're here for, it's this papyrus stuff. The palm wood could be cool, but we'll just mark it for later if we ever need it. But this papyrus, I'm not sure if we particularly need this for the quest. However, I would like to make some more disenchanting scrolls, and these are exactly what I need. Oh, wait, I think that's it. I think that's it right there. Oh, shoot, please. That looks camel-shaped to me. Get out of here. Yes! Alright, perfect. Here lies Giraffe, worked to death. You'll be missed and replaced. Idle of labor, alright. Some extra things here and there. Take a few of those relics. What do we got here? Revenos, punching bag, anti-whip armor, assassins. Oh, this is the to-do list. Salt veins, bosses, one-hump camels, fixed deadwood. Giant spiders, impossible math, giraffe tomb, obtanium veins, more colorful surface mines, Danish translation, more coders, less testing, configs for everything. Godforge. Oh, I recognize that from E6E. Dimensions within dimensions, 50 variants, Anubis Raw, Autumn, biomes, desert giraffes, desert ice giraffe, procedural procedures, no name tag bug. It says I can talk to it? Oh, I need to talk to the idol. Oh, that's wonderful. I went and collected a few more of these artifacts from some pyramids. I believe I have 3 now, so if I would like to keep one, I can. The main things we seem to be missing before this Atum Warrior would be the poppet, which needs this whole line of stuff, which I believe is the bottom half of that. And this date, which I believe we actually did end up picking up, an enchanted golden date. Maybe not? Oh no, it's right here. Yeah, we got one of these already, so we actually realistically can skip this for right now. We will probably come back and do this later because I do want to clean up the quest book, but we don't actually have to do anything here, interestingly. So what it seems that we need to do instead is we need to get these flax seeds. Glad I marked that oasis, it would seem. Get some flax, we'll make some linen into linen cloth, some emmer into emmer bread, and we'll make a poppet before we make our warrior. So let's get started with that. Seeds, emmer seeds, going up. Alright, so now that we've got our flax and our emmer, next we need our kiln, which is some limestone, relic blocks, and a limestone furnace. Nothing that here is particularly crazy. The relic blocks I went and dug up a little bit, so we should have plenty of this, so this should be nice and easy to craft. Here's our quest. Alright, next up we're building a bathroom. We need 8 of these white ceramic tiles, so we need some marl. Which is actually quite fortunate because I got some of this while I was going and collecting some of that relic ore. I believe I only had 10, but that should be enough. I need some in my bag. Yes, it is. So we need to put together this kiln first. I don't expect us to be using it for terribly long, honestly, so I'm just gonna set it right here for the time being. This should work. Yes. I should just be able to put that in the top and some coal in. There. Alright, and that will smelt, hopefully at a decent rate. Is this 4 at a time, or is this 1 at a time? I see the 2x2, and I'm hoping for 4. Okay, it's 4 at a time. This shouldn't take too long at all. Easy peasy. Right, the next thing we need here is a spinning wheel, which is some of this silver and brown ceramic tile. The rest of this stuff is, we don't need to even worry about this in the slightest. This is just light gray dye, this is just brown dye, shouldn't take too much hassle at all. Spinning wheel, and that should be a quest. Very nice. Next we need to spin some of the flax into linen cloth. We will need quite a lot, so I've made up a whole stack of, I bone mealed a whole stack of this flax, so... Oh. Oh? Oh. Oh, geez. Okay. Alright, yeah, I'm gonna be here for a little bit. So next we need this white linen, which is these bolts of linen cloth, which is just some of this linen thread and sticks. Shouldn't be too much of a effort at all. I'm just gonna make quite a fair bit of this. How much did I need? I think I need 6 for the poppet. And I get... That's gonna be 6 times... Yeah, 24. Oops, that did not save the recipe. 24 linen cloth. Put that together, make 6 linen. Should give us a nice quest. Gives us even the 2 brown floral powder that we should need for the poppet. Next, however, we need this quern, or quern? One of them. Nothing too big here. And there's our querst. Looks like we're crushing our emmer back into, yeah, back to this more manual stuff here. So we take our emmer, put it in, and just right click it a bunch. Oh, that's engaging. All right, yeah, this is great. I shouldn't have to do this too much, thankfully. And there's our quest with an M glyph even. Yeah, right click on a source and then turn it into emmer bread. I don't know why they had us get 3, honestly, but that's fine. It's our 3 emmer dough. Should be able to just throw this through the smelting factory here into our emmer bread, which should give us our poppet. There's our emmer bread. Next, our autumn poppet. So we need 3 of this brown linen, 3 of the white linen. Little low on on cocoa beans. I'm actually gonna grow a jungle tree real quick, just so I can grow some more of these. And there's our poppet. All right. So that leaves us with the warrior, which is our idol of labor, our enchanted golden date, our poppet, and any of our equipment. So let's see. Which of these are kind of the least? This is a decent shovel, a flame thorns helmet. I don't like thorns very much, and a bow that's not even going to compete with the shadow bow. All right, so you 2 are getting sacrificed to the equipment then. Then our idol of labor and our date makes our warrior. Oh, we've survived the sands. New trophy. All right. Love to see a new trophy. Makes me feel so good. What comes after autumn? That should take us to Icica, right? Yeah, we just need some shadow stones, snow, and some glass, which shouldn't be too much effort. The caveat being that we're effectively out of Arlebite and Rupee. Thankfully, we do have a Divine Vein here. It's not in the best position, but the excavator actually is quite close to here, up there. So I think if I just might push this over a little bit and let this run with like a battery, that should give us all 3 of those that we'll need for a while. Armor is getting quite low, so some more shadow gems to repair this would also be very appreciated. So let's go do that real quick. All right, and we're back. We got snow, 2 glass, which I definitely grabbed beforehand. With the 3 snow, the Atum Warrior, our 3 shadow stones get us a snow globe. which should link us to here. Oh, and 10 snow. Okay, that's fine. I'm glad I grabbed extra. I felt like I would need to, but I wasn't 100% certain. Alright, so we've got a Frostwalker book, some diamond... Actually, those diamond gloves might be useful. Do these give me anything? Well, I'll wear them. May as well. Oh, that's cool. Not huge on how those look. At all, really. Is that a... That is not a toggleable thing. Alright, we will not be wearing these then. Alright, so it looks like we have access to Icica, which means we are very close to extra utilities that fast. I fully expected it to be like after Aether for some reason. Alright, so we're actually in a very interesting spot. I feel like I haven't gone into editing and also have no idea how far we're along or how long this has been. However, I set this up a while ago and I don't think I ever showed it. We got our controller set up, we got digital storage set up. We did not do export buses for all of our passive stuff yet because I would like some more cables and wool for that, which I'm thinking maybe using flax for that because flax seemed to have a very good string conversion ratio. I want to say it was like 1 to 3, which is almost 1 wool per thing, which is amazing. However, we did finish Autumn just entirely, which is really good in my opinion. That's a lot. Access to Icica does a lot because it's a few more Divine RPG just kind of things. In particular, these ice stones. This frozen armor seems pretty good, at least passable. However, the main thing I'm really here for would be this angelic armor. I know that this full set bonus is gated until Elevadium, which is quite a ways away. However, look at that set bonus. Look at that set bonus. That would be so nice. Like, that's not jetpacks, that's creative flight. That is just the best building thing you could get. I do think Elevadium, yeah, Elevadium's back here, which, to be fair, at this point, we're basically making jetpacks and jet plates anyways. But that's creative flight. It's creative flight, you know? Albeit I'm getting far ahead of myself with that. Next time, I'm thinking we take a quick trip to Icica, at least hopefully quick with this augment spell, and maybe even get started on extra utilities and mob grinding utilities. I would really love to get some mob drop stuff. I would love to get a very strong, robust kind of thing for that as well. I see that enchant all the things right there. I am in desperate, desperate need of good enchantments. I have re-rolled this armor so many times, and it's still, like, passable at best. Like, fire protection 3. I like fire protection on my armor. I want better than fire protection 3. I am still getting ahead of myself. That is obviously a ways into a chapter that we haven't even begun yet. But we're beginning it soon-ish. Maybe. Probably. Until then, however, that will be it for me. Hopefully this doesn't go for too long. I suppose I'll find out in editing. Maybe this is a really short one, and I just cut out a lot of stuff. Who knows? I appreciate you sticking with me, and I hope you enjoyed yourself, and I hope to catch you again next time. Bye-bye. Ooh, I punched some lead.